Oh, hey, I'm Tom, and this is Tabletop Tap Room. And today we are asking a question that goes to the very heart of what this game is. And that is, when does the game begin? Does it begin after you've created your perfect character, or does it begin the minute you pick up dice to begin character generation? I've been doing a deep dive read through on Moldvay Basic, page by page, cover to cover. And on page B5, there is it has the 3d6 rolled straight, record them in order. There's no 4d6, there's no point buys, there's no standard raise, there's no roll 8 sets or 12 sets of ability scores, pick the one you want. It's just roll 3d6, and now we're in character generation. And this has changed over the years. There's a lot of house rules. It's changed, and it changed for an important reason, because there was a change in culture in Dungeons and Dragons. And we're going to look at that today. Don't forget that like, subscribe, and bell icon that help with building the channel. And moving right along. In modern D&D, we've shifted towards, I want to play a specific character culture. The game doesn't really start until that character has been optimized and is ready to go, but that wasn't always the case. Back in the early days of D&D, going all the way back to OD&D, and then in the cleaned up versions of Basic, Holmes and Moldvay, it persisted, but then it began to change. The shift was not really about the rules, it was about the cultural divide, because there was a recognition at the publisher that those playing in the living rooms and at the kitchen tables, they wanted to play with what they wanted to play, and that was perfectly fine. But originally, when D&D started, it was in the wargaming club. And in the wargaming club, the culture was a test of player skill. You rolled the dice and you made choices, you made meaningful choices, but you had to deal with what the dice handed you, and how well could you adapt and overcome based off of what the dice results were. And so you had to keep adapting your game based off of what the dice handed you, and you just never knew what the dice were going to do. So let's go and look at what I think is really significant in the basic expert rules, page B7. On B7, we see the prime requisite table, and your prime requisite score impacts the experience points you're earning. If you're middle of the road, no change. But if your prime requisite is lower than 8, you could have a -10 penalty. And if it's lower than 5, that penalty could be -20. That is a massive mechanical pressure upon the player. And if the prime requisite's above 13 to 15, it's a +5 bonus. What happened to 10, right? And if it's 16 to 18, that's a +10 bonus. So it's actively rewarding you to make certain decisions. And in old school, you were free to play any character you wanted. You could make that choice and play a suboptimal character, but you were going to have to own your choice, and you were going to see it affect your progression in the game. The move to 4d6, drop the lowest, and the point buys, and all the other methods, was a recognition the hobby was moving out of the wargaming club and into the living room, into the kitchen tables. And it was a good thing. It was more inclusive, and it let players tell the stories they wanted to tell. But the culture of the wargaming club was that, hey, the dice hand with you what the dice hands you, and let's see how good a player you are at dealing with that. And so if you're looking for an old school competitive edge, and you want to see if you've got the chops to be a master game player, then try the straight 3d6 method. Stop trying to control the outcome. See what happens and where the game starts before you've even written the name on the character sheet. It's a greater challenge. It's not about what you want to play, but how well you can play with what you've been handed. That's why straight 3d6 is in the earliest editions of D&D, and that's why it keeps cropping up here and there, even in old and in more modern editions, where you'll see that's one of the possible character generation methods. It's about the challenge to your player skill. How good a player are you? Can you deal with the dice handing you what you not necessarily wanted, but can you still play that? Are you able to adapt and overcome with that character anyways? This is Tom for Tabletop Taproom. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget that like, subscribe, bell icon, and give 3D6 a try and see how well you do. Why play a game in easy mode? Grab the dice, take on a greater challenge, and I'll see you at the gaming table. Keep on playing.